Life is lifing. We're providing you with the tools that you need to make the best decisions for your future, protecting families and providing coverage that you need. Reach out to me today and let's get you qualified. 832-590-0691.
No, we were acting funny lately. I mean, ever since I started dating Lisa, he's been acting a bit crazy.
Yeah. What are you trying to say?
I mean, do you have a problem with her or something?
No.
I mean, do I ever act like this when you date anybody that you've dated? Later.
Later.
So what's been up?
Nothing.
Do I ever act like this when you date anybody that you dated?
No. What are you trying to say? I've never been the one in this situation.
Well, now you know how it feels. And besides, I mean, I can still always make time for you. I mean, it's not like we have to stop being friends or anything.
I wonder, do individuals ever think about how important time is? I'm gonna give him one chance, and he better realize my time is valuable. I refuse to have my time wasted being mistreated or defeated by anyone. The way I see it, he's gonna have to come correct, or I'm moving on. If I'm going to take my time to anyone, it's going to be someone who values it. And I hope he does, because to love someone is to value them and the time you spend together.
Thanks for tuning in to the Sisters Talk podcast. I'm your host, Danny M. And backstage, we have our very special guest who I'm going to bring on in just a moment. Before I get started, guys, I want to make sure that you are aware of the first trailer that you saw was from the movie called Nella. I actually directed, I wrote that script. I casted all the actors and actresses, so shout out to them. The movie's called Nella. You can find that on the YouTube channel for Nella. So it's just youtube.com/Nella. The second video you watch is for life insurance. I am a life insurance agent. I'm actually a broker. Anytime you have questions in regards to coverage, if you have questions about prepaid legal as well as funeral home services, hit me up. Also, that final video, which I actually love, was a video clip of the movie called Love Always Win trailer. And I'm sorry, it's not a movie. It is actually a web series by Wade Simmons. So shout out to Wade Simmons. He's all the way in Chi-Town, Chicago, Illinois. So make sure you check out his information. It's actually on Vimeo. Now, without further ado, we're on episode 5 of Why Are Relationships Failing? And without further ado, I'm going to bring on my special guest, Will the Fresh.
What's going on, Danny?
I mean, I'm hanging in there. It's Friday, man. It was a long week.
Yeah, you got that right. You definitely got that right.
Yeah, and Will and I, we thought about this topic a while ago, probably about a month, maybe 2 months ago now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we found each other in a podcast group. So podcasts are sticking together, you know.
That's right. That's right.
And I love the name of his YouTube channel. And here, we have Dylan just says, "It's Will."
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hello, everybody.
Absolutely. Tell them a little bit about your channel and what all you talk about on it.
Yes, so it is, Mr. Will Day Fresh of sarcasm and orgasm. That's right, people. You heard it. You read it right. Sarcasm, orgasm. No, it is not what you think. It is not a sex talk podcast. But what it's more about is just having good conversations, having laughs, having understanding, having some sarcasm. And through those sarcasms, we get orgasms. So you can find me everywhere, and I mean everywhere between YouTube. Hit me up on the podcast as well as I officially would love to say this. So, Sarcasm Orgasm now has their official merchandise. So you can go get a t-shirt. I will give Danny a link and we will drop that below. All my t-shirts from small to 5X are all $20. With taxes going to run you about 23, 24, depending on where you're at, but it's $20 straight. We're not charging you. No matter how big you are, you still will get you still will be charged the same price as everybody else. So it's a good quality t-shirt, 100% authentic cotton. I mean, yes, I know you're black. We should all get things 100% free because it's cotton. But no, I can't. I can't do like that. But yeah, so go ahead and get your sarcasm orgasm merchandise. Back to you, Danny.
Well, you are out of line. You're just so out of line. Anyway, yes, guys, make sure you support Will. He's doing his thing. Super proud of you, man. And yes, we're just gonna dig right on into the day's topic.
Yes, let's get it.
Episode 5: Why are relationships failing? Nobody can really answer this question head on because nobody really knows. Like, there's so many different factors, right?
Yeah, there is, and it's because no one is perfect. If everybody was perfect, we would be able to answer this question with one answer straight for everybody. But since everybody comes in different forms and variations, and no relationship is perfect, and every relationship is different, so they fail in a lot of different ways. But we as people, we seem to think we are flawless to where our relationships never fail. It's always the other person and never us.
That's a good point you make because we are always big on pointing the finger, like, well, this person doesn't communicate effectively, or this person spends too much money, or he or she. But we never, a lot of times, we don't look at ourselves. Some of us that do, but there's a lot of us who don't, and we like
Hmm.
to victimize ourselves in the relationships and get the upper hand and make ourselves feel better. But it takes both people to make the relationship toxic, and it takes two people to make a relationship fail, right?
True,
So
very true, very, very true. And it's just unfair that people never want to take accountability. Yes, that's a big word, people. Accountability in your relationship. You need to be responsible for what you do and what you cause and how you cause it because you dictate that person's behavior.
facts. Now, we've talked about several different ways relationships fail. We talked about who has it worse, men or women. You remember some more topics that we've talked about before?
Oh no, we've done so many. It's just
We
like
covered them all.
it's hard to keep up with all of them that we've done. But I know really rounding it out and really putting the synapses on it, we just have to be accountable. We have to be understanding of other people, of that other person that we're dealing with, because like I said, you dictate that person's behavior. If you do nothing, if you're with that person, whether it be your man or your woman, whoever it might be, y'all can have a very good relationship if y'all communicate, y'all do it together. It makes no sense that you want to be in a relationship but still be out here in the streets. Like, you gotta pick one. You really do,
I
because
can't
it's
believe
not.
I'm hearing a man say that, though.
Yeah, and I'm saying it because I've learned it from my own dealings. Like, I'm not this perfect person that I'm not trying to portray, but I've had my dealings to where I was out here doing what I was supposed to do and it backfired on me.
Mm.
Karma does come around no matter how quick or how slow it might be. It will come to you. So if you do dirt is going to come back to you. It might take a while. I remember this one saying, an old broom knows where to find the dirt at.
Ha! Man, karma comes back to you with interest. And I don't think people really believe that until it happens to them. And a lot of women, I'm speaking from a woman's point of view, a lot of women get upset at guys who dog them, that drag them, that give them no type of accountability. They don't give them anything to trust. And then they end up making these females sometimes bitter because the female's looking at the situation like, well, when is this guy ever gonna get his karma for breaking my heart, lying to
Mm-hmm.
me, leaving me with children, giving me an STD. The list just goes on and on. Domestic violence, or DV.
Yep.
All of these things happen to women and men, but mostly women a lot of times. And then the women are left to deal with the remains. And then a lot of men look at women and say, well, why is she so upset? Why is she so aggressive? And it's like, you're asking these questions without asking her what happened to you. What happened in your
True.
past relationship? Have
Very
you
true.
ever had extreme trauma? Have you gotten counseling and therapy for that trauma? Is it still happening to you? When I touch you a certain way, does it trigger you? These are the type of important questions that we should be asking. A lot of people are probably watching this show like, why I gotta ask her all that? You need to ask her that so you can understand your woman better, because you don't know what that woman or man has gone through. She says, life still with me, your ex ass. Facts.
Yeah, and I'll say this. We all think we can find that better person, but that better person that we might be looking for is probably in the person we're with, aside from the DVs. Like, you can find a really good person who is not going to put their hands on you. Yeah, we might scrap with our words, but we should never with our hands. If you got to put if you got to put your hands on your man or your woman, y'all should not be together. I remember when I was with my ex, we had came to this agreement and she said it first. So it was her. She was like, if I have to physically put hands on you, then we don't need to be together. We don't. And that's an agreement that you should have from the start, and always have like some type of checkup, like, quarterly, every couple months, y'all sit down and reevaluate. It's like, is this something we want to do? Because the more and more conversations you have with each other, the better understanding you have, and then y'all grow organically together. And so there's always a junction to where y'all come together and y'all really start vibing as one and be as one. Because we all want those relationships that our grandparents had that are be lasting 60, 70 years. Of course, them niggas hooked up, in the depression era. But that's a little bit different.
We in a
But
depression right now. It's the same thing.
yeah, yeah, we're in the depression of social media where everybody's telling us we could be our better selves, but we're still failing at trying to figure out who we are. So yeah, it's a real huge depression. Let me tell you.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Good point too, man. Great facts there as well. In every relationship, you're gonna have your ups and downs. But one thing I like what you said, especially coming from a man, is that it's important that we vibe. It's important that we have that conversation. A lot of us are jumping in relationships because of sex, because of looks, because of money, and we're not getting to the core of who we're with. And we're wondering
Hmm.
why the relationships are failing because you didn't take out time to build that foundation. You didn't take out the time to understand the person that you're laying down with every night. And half of us don't even care. We're just out here
No.
for the thrill of it. We're out here for
Yep.
the ride. We're out here for the enjoyment, and enjoyment only lasts for so long when you don't know exactly who it is that you're dealing with.
Well, that enjoyment can last a lot longer if you don't get infatuated with someone after 2 weeks and you be like, oh, you mine, I'm yours. Y'all should really take a vested interest, especially if you're getting into your late 20s and your 30s, because we all know time is of the essence. Like, we don't have a lot of time to play around like we all think we do, especially if, he got kids, you got kids, whoever it might be. You still need to of course they didn't have social media. They had Telegram where he sent her a letter. She sent her pussy through the mail. With a nice little Polaroid.
I seriously doubt. I hope not. I hope my great grandma didn't do that. Will, I'm done with you. Let's get back on topic. See, this is what I deal with, y'all. Okay, what was we talking about? 'Cause we threw me off.
Okay.
What are we talking about? Okay, no, but for real, y'all. What we're saying is facts. A lot of us, we get with these people because they look good. We're having sex with them and we don't know who they are. And that's the reason why some women end up in these DV situations. This is why some of us, men and women, end up with these illegitimate children that we
Hmm.
can't even
Yes,
afford to
that's what I
take
was,
care of half the
that's what
time,
I was
or
saying.
don't
Yeah.
even have the mindset for it. And then you end up finding out your partner is super immature with their finances, right? No financial literacy
Hmm.
whatsoever. And this is how we dig a hole for ourselves. So take our time, know who you're sleeping with, literally know who you're sleeping with before you do that. Protect yourself too, so that you don't have these kids, a million kids, it's costly.
Yes, and have those difficult conversations. What is your credit score like? How are you with money management? what are your goals in life? Do you really want to do something? Because not everybody's going to be a broke ass rapper or a broke ass athlete. It's not going to happen. We all have to have regular jobs. Someone has to say paper or plastic at Walmart. Like, come on now. Let's be realistic. We can joke all day, but you still got to be realistic about what's going on, who you're getting entangled with. Because the moment you have a child with that person, you're stuck. Not
Facts.
stuck, but you are entangled with that person forever. They might say 18 years, but no, you're going to deal with that person, whoever it might be, for however long you have that child. So you really have to take a huge, excuse me, a huge vested interest in who you lay with and who you deal with, because people out here, they are energy stealers, they are energy killers, and then you are soul tying yourself to that person for a very, very long time. You cannot get rid of that spirit. You can do all of the sage, chi, chai, whatever you think it is, but you are still going to be stuck with that person when you lay with them. I
And
don't care
here's the
how good.
thing about sex too that people do not realize. Because what you were talking about earlier, energy vampires, yes, real thing. You also talked about soul tie is also a very real thing. She said,
Hmm.
"Dear rappers, UPS." I'm done.
Yeah, they're always hiring. Always someone needs the box handlers.
With soul ties, when you already feel like you're connected to that person mentally, and then you start having sex with them, that's strengthening that soul tie, that bond that you're creating with the other person, whether you guys last or not. So when you break up, you're still dreaming about that person, you're still feeling for that person, you're still desiring that person. And it's
Hmm.
almost like, voodoo, spells, whatever you want to call it, but it's nothing more than your emotional pheromones, hormones reacting, especially for women. We have to be real careful with that because you'll end up soul tying with the wrong person that's just gonna
Yes.
jog and drag you for the rest of your life.
Yes, and I can say me personally that I've had a lot of soul ties that I've now starting to break, because when I was in college, I was a straight hoe. I will admit it, because I was with my girlfriend for 3.5 years. Then we broke up in college, and then after that, my sophomore year all the way into my senior, I mean, I was dicking willy nilly everybody, women, not men, because I only go one way. But still, it's like I didn't care and I didn't know, and that caught back up with me. It's going to catch back up with you whether you think it's going to or not, both men and women. So you gotta be cognizant, and I really mean be cognizant of who you lay down with, on who you give your body to, because you are giving a piece to that person, and whether they know it or not, they will carry with them, and it's going to affect them. I can say for me it has, because it's like I'm be like, oh, I don't care what she looks like as long as she's giving up. But then after a while, we start thinking like, damn, something's just feeling a little off, a little different. And then it's almost like you need to replenish yourself of that person. Like a vampire needs blood. You need their fuel again to fuel yourself to feel whole. So that's why you always going from women to women. Because that's what we're doing. We're trying to refuel ourselves to feel whole again, but soon after we're drained, we need somebody else to sleep with. At least that's how I see it. I could be
I feel
different.
like, yeah, that's part of it. And then a lot of it's just pure ignorance. Like
Yeah.
literally pure ignorance. Like a lot of people don't even know how to treat a woman or a man because they didn't see it growing up. No one taught them. And on top of that, when they became adults, they kind of just went off raw, like wild instinct, if that
Hmm.
makes any sense. It's like you're just doing stuff because this is how you feel in a moment, but you're not thinking about how it's going to affect your future. So we
Yep.
definitely need to always be 10 steps ahead of our own emotion to make sure, hey, let's check this emotion with logic. Does it make sense for me to sleep with this person? Does it make sense for me to spend time with this guy or with this girl? Should I spend my money on a date with her? Or should I get dressed all nice and fancy for him? Because if the vibe isn't there and if you guys are on the same, I'm not sure what's going on. That you okay? Weird. Anyways, because if the vibe isn't there and you don't, you guys aren't on the same page financially, sexually, because that's a big thing too. Like sometimes you get so tired of people who you aren't even really too much attracted to sexually. How does that
Hmm.
even happen? It's like maybe the conversation is good. Conversation rules the nation. That's a very old school saying. But it's like women, you have to learn how to be pleased and be okay with being satisfied with your partner. Like if you're not satisfied, you probably shouldn't be with them. But also on the flip of that coin, don't be with somebody just because that's purely what they're doing for you. It's satisfying you in the sex department, but they're not satisfying your spirit. They're not satisfying the being, the person who you are. They're not being a listening ear to you when you need it. They're not supporting you in some of your endeavors that you're trying to pursue. Same for men. Men, you got to be with supportive women. There's a lot of women out here that will just continuously take from you, but you don't realize that because you think she's beautiful. You want to make her happy, but you have to ask yourself, is she making you happy outside of the bedroom? I'm talking, not just sex. Is she a supportive partner? Is she
And
someone who's gonna have your back? Does she trust you? Because if she doesn't trust you, you got to ask yourself, are you leaving? Are you laying the foundation of trust between you two? And if you are, then why is it that she still doesn't trust you? Then that must be an issue that she is dealing with. And you shouldn't have to suffer from her insecurities, right? So these are all profoundly deep conversations that need to be had while you're dating that person, not after you get married, right?
yeah, but no one's having them. No one's taking that time because it's that infatuation level, and then once it wear off, we're just out again looking for the next one to rip and run through. Unless you really get caught, no, I won't say you get caught up. Unless you really get entwined with that person, you start liking them more, and the infatuation level boosts to like, and then hopefully love. But then that love gets skewed because if you don't know how to love, if you don't love yourself, then how are you going to love somebody else? That's really hard. We have we have a lot of people who don't love themselves but are steadily giving out this L word as if it's candy at Halloween. It's like you're passing out to everybody, you just don't care. You really
Yeah,
don't.
facts. But that's that irresponsible love that we're talking about. Really, it's just irresponsible infatuation is what it boils down to. And we have to know the difference. All right, so I'm gonna play this clip. Hopefully we don't get flagged for this one. And this is a clip from 90 Day Fiance, and I think it's a really good example of two people being in a relationship who aren't on the same level, but now they're just fighting to make it work because they have a child together.
Whoa.
You're jealous of my clothes.
No, I'm not jealous of nothing.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Ariella and Benia, always good to see you guys. Now, how have you been doing since you finally tied the knot?
We're doing good, but we always have the same kind of issues, like with communication. I will say, Benny has some really good news to share.
Oh, what is your good news, Benia?
My good news is I get my green card.
Wow, congratulations. Nice, very nice. This means you can go to work, right?
Now I can work now. I can be a father.
And what kind of work do you want to do?
I'm continuing with my MMA. 100% I have confidence. Like for me, I'm the best fighter.
Do you wish that Ari was more supportive of you?
Well, let's be clear that I've never said don't do this. I said if you're going to do it, you need to be realistic about doing. And that's what my point is, like, just see the full picture. That's what I say.
I know that one of the ongoing issues between you two has been the issue of jealousy.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm very jealous. I would say I'm reasonable. Like, you expect the person that you're with to tell you, certain things. What do you think, I'm jealous?
Yeah. Say it, bro. Yes, she's jealous.
Just like Jibril when he's there, she's overprotect.
Come here. Like, you can't do that. You can't, especially him, because he's trying to pursue his dreams. So the more jealous you get, it's just gonna hold y'all back, and y'all not gonna work out, because he's gonna reach to the top. But you're not. You're preventing him from
what?
getting
He's
there.
going to reach to the top because he has people around him, including me, who help him and protect
No,
him.
you're pessimistic about his career as a fighter.
I believe Vinny could do anything that he wants. Like, he's got so much potential, but he needs someone to push him, and that's what I do. I do push him, but I also ask him to be realistic.
No, you're gonna hold him back. You hating. You gotta stop. You gotta stop.
But for you, even your mom's hating. Like, oh, my mother's jealous of my relationship.
No, that's not that.
Like,
it's the overprotective, overbearing stuff that you're talking about.
I feel like
It's
you
gonna
have an
hinder.
attitude like it's me against the world.
Nah.
Everyone's just jealous of me. Everyone's like this. You should be realistic too.
No, I'll be realistic. I'll fight you. We can set up a fight. I got $100,000. We'll fight. She's definitely holding him back.
Well, a lot of drama. Do we
Yeah.
have time to break this apart? Because there was a lot going on.
I mean, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So Beanie is the guy from Ethiopia who had on like the reddish orange suit. And then he had his girlfriend sitting next to him, which to me looks like the keyboard elf, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, she's super insecure because Beanie cheated on her like a few years back. And this is during the time when they had their son. Okay, so put a pin in it. She got cheated on by him. So that's the reason why she doesn't trust him. Now he's moved to the United States. He got his green card. Whoop, whoop. Now Jabri, which is the other guy that was talking with like the blondish hair, He's telling the girlfriend of Beanie that you can't be jealous and hold this man back because he's trying to do his MMA training so that he can be successful one day. Jabri is trying to explain to the girlfriend that if you're this jealous, you're this insecure, you're gonna end up holding this man back from training, from being the best that he can be, and maybe miss out on opportunities because she doesn't want him to be around certain women. Well, what's your take on that?
Okay, so first off, why do you got to go to Ethiopia to get a black dude? Why don't you just go to the hood and get one? There are plenty of ones you can pick up. You don't need to go get someone who needs their damn green card. You really don't. Like, I don't understand none of these people. Why do you need to go overseas to find love when there's plenty of loveless people
Hey, I found my
in
love
this world?
overseas though. It just depends on where you're at. She may have been the type that was traveling a lot, and had a one night stand. I don't know. I really don't know their backstory. So that's a good point you make. But you just never know where you're gonna find love.
You can find love here. There are a lot of loveless people. There's a lot of places where you go for last call to get your love.
I'm
So
done. I'm done. Not the last call.
I'm just saying, and before I even get into it, like, there's no reason why you need to go to another country to put someone up and say, "Oh, I love you" after 90 days. No, no, especially not for no goddamn foreigner.
Well,
No,
clearly they've been together for way longer than 90 days, right? They have a kid that's like almost 1 years old. So they dated prior to, and they have a lot of backstory and history. This woman is just, in my opinion, super insecure because of what he's done. But he's apologized. He's tried to, mend the relationship, but I don't know if she's really giving him the opportunity based on what
I
I've seen on the show.
It's not, because it almost looks as though it's like she's not really ready to move on. You have to forgive before you're able to move on. Like, you have to forgive yourself for being mad at someone else. You really do. You can't hold shit against people, especially if they say, "Oh, I forgive you." Well, then you gotta let it go. No one's telling you to forget, but in order to move on, in order to heal, you gotta let it go just a little bit. Like, loosen the reins. You can't be mad at a person forever because it's just not going to work out. You might as well just end it now. You really do. But I think it's all a facade because half these people are never together when they do like this reunion special. They're move on to somebody else. And then there's another messed up storyline that everybody wants to fall in love with. I think all this shit is made up, if you ask me.
A
I
lot
really
of it
do.
is for sure. I think some of it's authentic, but that particular situation I kind of felt for Beanie because he's not from here. He speaks a totally different language. He's in her country now, and I feel like, girl, if you're gonna forgive him, forgive him. If not, then just move on and let that man be free so he can go ahead and fulfill his MMA because he got his green card now. If he wanted to leave, he could. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not even about him deciding whether he wants to leave. He's made his decision to stay with you, but like, don't make him live in hell from making that decision to want to keep
Yeah.
his family
He can
together.
go find him a real white woman that looks 10 times better than her. Because
See,
even I wouldn't put my dick in her. But that's
ah,
just me.
Will, please, okay. Too bad
What?
it's Friday, not Sunday. Anyways, but at least you're keeping it real.
Okay.
You're keeping it real. You're keeping it real though. And then maybe that's the problem. Maybe she feels insecure about her own looks. You never know. And I
Hey,
feel
look,
like,
look, she can get her a mommy makeover. What I mean by that, and people listen to this because I see this every day. A mommy makeover consists of a rhinoplasty that get your nose fixed. You can get a neck lift. You can get a fat transfer, so take all the fat out your sides, neck, whatever, and put in your ass. Then you get you a BBL. So that is a nice mommy makeover for under 40K.
so
Those
basically,
checks
what
were,
you're telling me is that something needs to change with her nose. Rude.
yep,
And then,
mm-hmm,
oh,
yep,
well, there you have
yep.
it. So would you say, do you think that's the reason why Beanie cheated the first time is because you don't feel like he may be attracted to her?
It could be. I mean, because we'll cheat on women for a lot of dumb reasons. But if we're not attracted to you physically, why would I really want to sleep with you? I mean, if I'm only going to sleep with you when the lights are off, that's saying something right there.
Yeah, facts. I can't argue with that, man. Listen, I hate for this to come to an end because we're in such a good place with this conversation, but we've gone for 30 minutes now.
You on a
This
time
was,
limit? The
yeah,
hell?
I am actually. I have some more things I got to take care of today. People that know me know me. But guys, the ones that tuned in tonight, we want to thank you for all your comments. You guys had a lot of funny comments tonight. Uh, let's see if we can read some. He married
Yep.
that woman for a green card,
He really
basically.
did. He really
Yeah,
did.
at this point, and also to stay with his son. because he married someone before her that ran off with their son, and he literally still doesn't know where they are. They're somewhere here in the U.S., but he doesn't know specifically where they are. Shayna says, I got one more relationship left before I marry an African for 50 bands. Ah, they need to up that inflation, maybe
Yep.
150 bands. Charles says, I'm not sure some of us know how to love because some of us haven't even seen healthy relationships or being around one. So oftentimes people are learning on the go. Very, very true. Like a lot of people just don't even know what love looks like anymore. Thank you for tuning in, Sandra. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up episode 5 of Why Are Relationships Failing. We dropped a lot of gems, Will,
Yeah, we did. We
and you were
did. And
super transparent.
I try to be, as I've said before, because I have never been perfect in the relationships that I deal with and the women I've been in contact with. But through those, I've learned, because you only learn by doing it. And I've messed up a lot of times, and I can say that it's not easy. But when you do find someone you can fully commit to, it can be a beautiful thing. So it really can be.
And guys, it's not gonna be beautiful starting out always, but
No,
if you
it's not.
have a person who really commits themselves to you and through honesty, through loyalty, protection, support, those 4 things, right? Respect, then you automatically are going to get a lot of attributes that you've always seeked in your life that you didn't even know existed just by those that individual providing you that right there is a great form of protection and security for anybody that's looking for a healthy relationship. So if you have somebody like that in your life, try to just dig deeper, build that foundation with them, and see where it takes you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and especially if they throw 50 bands at you, that's a lot of protection and security right there.
That's that financial protection right there. Damn, it's wild. That girl, you just never know what she would say. I've been knowing her for over 30 years. That is my best friend right there. So thank you for tuning in, guys. So, anyways, we'll see you guys again tomorrow. I'm gonna have Mr. Holistic on our live stream tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're the type of person that want to tune in and learn more about healthy habits, healthy way of living and eating, this is going to be the show for you. He's actually a black man out there in Arkansas. I've never been to Arkansas, but anyways, we'll have him on the show tomorrow, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. And as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube
Mhm.
channel. Make sure you
Yes, yes.
share this video. And any last words from you, Will?
Yeah, make sure you guys go check out me, Sarcasm Orgasm, on all podcasts. Check me out on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel as well. Also, if you're interested in supporting my brand, go ahead and hit the link for my t-shirts, $20 from small all the way to 5X. Oh, and if you do like some of the things that I've said, please come over, comment. If you want to be a guest, let me know. I welcome all and everybody, just like Danny. So thank you so much for having me on, Danny. I appreciate it.
Anytime, my brother. All right, guys, we're signing off. I'll see you again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Will, you have a blessed one, and we're
You
signing off.
too.
Thanks for tuning in to the Sisters Talk Podcast.